Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable card using our Flippin Fun Collection. Our Flippin Fun Collection consists of stamps, dies, and this really fun reversible sequin fabric. This reversible sequin fabric that I'm using today goes from matte navy to matte purple. You just brush your fingers along it and you see that it gives you that really pretty purple color. Just a lot of fun and very interactive card. Also very easy to do. So, let's get started, shall we? First, let's take a minute and go over the products that we're using today. We're going to be using a trifold card, which is an A6 size card with 3 panels. This makes it easier because you don't have to measure your panels or your card base. And it's a 4.5 by 6.25 size once it's folded. The image that we're going to be using comes from our Inky Antics Clear Stamp Set Balloon Bunny. As you can see, he's got a nice big opening in his balloon where we're going to put that reversible sequin fabric and some really cute sentiments floating by to say hi and a note to lift you up. He coordinates with our Crafty Cuts Balloon Bunny die set. So this comes with the balloon and the bunny cutout. So you can use him for kind of making your bunny 3D. Today we're really going to focus on the balloon. Also, we have our reversible sequin fabric. It comes in 4" by 24", and today we're going to be using matte navy to matte purple. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unfold our trifold card. We're going to stamp our balloon bunny image on that center panel. Once you've got the balloon bunny image stamped, you want to go ahead and color him right now or add any background images at this point. So you can see I've colored my bunny, I've added a sentiment, and I've also added some clouds using our cloud stencil. The next thing that we're going to do is focus on cutting out the center of the balloon. Okay, so now we've done our coloring. We've colored a bunny, we've added a sentiment, we've added some clouds using our cloud stencil, and now we're going to focus on cutting out that balloon. So what I'd like you to do is use your balloon die cut and take a scrap piece of cardstock. Now you'll see in this video that I used just regular copy paper, which was actually too thin, but it worked for my purposes that I used today. But I suggest using a really lightweight cardstock, that way you don't get indentations. So you're going to just cut out that center, and you're going to get rid of the center piece because you're going to use the mask part of it, or the negative piece. And you're going to tape that down with removable tape after you've lined it up right over that balloon. This is going to serve as basically a carrier for our die so that we make sure that we cut that balloon out exactly where we want it. And again, I'm sorry, not double stick tape, but with removable tape, tape down the balloon die and then run it through your machine. Once we run that through our machine, we're going to go ahead and just remove the die and the template, and then you just have a nice hole for your balloon, just making sure that you don't have any removable tape on there. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut out our reversible sequin fabric. I like to use a rotary cutter, and I like to cut it from the back. It just makes it easier. So I've got my cutting mat, and I just cut that piece. Very easy. And now you see we have our piece cut out. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to flip our card over to the back side, and we're going to use score tape around the edges of that cutout balloon image. We want to use small pieces, and we want to make sure that they're very close together to ensure that our fabric sticks really well, because it's going to have a lot of pressure on it when people are running their fingers over it to flip the sequins, and so you want to make sure that it stays tight and that it has that nice firm movement. So let's go ahead and just make sure those pieces of score tape are lined up right next to each other. Really doesn't take that much, it's just more of making them into smaller pieces. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove the backing from our score tape that's around our balloon image. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our sequin fabric, and we want to make sure that the sequins are flipping in the right way. So since I want this to go from matte navy to the matte purple, I'm going to make sure that my sequins are flipped down. That way when you place them down and you flip the card over, you'll know that they are flipping the right way. Sometimes if you're not paying attention, you might flip them sideways and then they won't flip the correct direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay down the fabric starting on the left side, and I adhere it down to my score tape, and I just make sure and kind of burnish it real well. And as I'm placing it across the rest of that cutout center, I just work it, and I also kind of keep it tight. Again, as the flipping of the sequins occur, that's going to wear and loosen the fabric, so you want to start it out as tight as you possibly can. See how nice and tight that is. So the next thing that I'm going to do is we're going to take score tape and place it on the fabric so that when we fold over that panel, it adheres really well. So I'm going to put a piece up here at the top, and then I'm going to put a piece at the bottom and on both sides. So here's another piece of my score tape here on the bottom, and you want that score tape to kind of like overlap on the fabric and on the cardstock. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it on my side, pull out a couple little ravelings here just to make sure that everything's nice and clean. It's fabric, so it does ravel just a little bit, but not too much. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my score tape and I'm going to put it in the middle of the fabric. I'm going to put two pieces, one about a quarter of a way down from the top and the other one about a quarter of the way up from the bottom. Again, that just reinforces that fabric for when the flipping occurs of the sequins. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put a piece of score tape on the bottom of the cardstock. Can't really see here, I was kind of out of frame. And then on each side. Again, when we fold over that left panel, this will just make sure that it adheres really snugly so that it doesn't lift up, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is remove the backing from our score tape that we have placed over the fabric and along the perimeter of the card. So we're just going to remove that. Sometimes people use a craft knife to lift this off. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just use the edge of my fingernail. Just depends on what's working at the time. So make sure you remove all that backing. And then the next thing that we're going to do once we have all the backing removed is we're going to fold over that left panel to cover that fabric. So we're just going to fold that over. Again, just kind of cleaning up a little bit of the ravels. Fold that over, and since it's already pre-cut and pre-scored, look at how nicely that lines up. We're just going to burnish that really good and just make sure that it is sticking really well and that it is adhered really smoothly. Flip over your card, and there you go. And see how nice those reversible sequins flip up? And there you have it. Sweet, fun, interactive card.